Hello and welcome to this video on passwords. So I'm going to let you know now that passwords are my big thing. They are so very important, yet they're so heavily ignored or done wrong. So we're going to go over these, and I do suggest that you take this to heart, maybe memorize a bit of it, take notes, rewatch this definitely if you need to. So why are they needed? Well, passwords are a type of authentication. They verify you are who you say you are. They keep unauthorized people out. They help protect your personal data, and they protect sensitive data. So what about password strength? Well, weak passwords are actually useless. Dictionary passwords can usually be hacked within a second or less. So what do I mean by dictionary password? Any word in a dictionary. If it's a dictionary word, cat, or doggies, or anything like that, the word password, it's pretty much useless. You may as well just not have a password. So password do's. Now it needs to be at least 8 characters long. It needs to contain capital letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and preferably also special characters like these guys right here. So if you can contain at least 8 characters and at least one of each one of these, you should have a pretty good password, as long as it's also not a dictionary word. So password do nots: do not use dictionary words, do not use personal names, do not use dates of anything, no birthdays, no anniversaries, none of that stuff. Do not use anything that relates to you or your job. Do not use popular songs, movies, games, bands. And do not use common combinations of letters or numbers or words. So anything like that, stay away from. So how do you create a good password? So here's my way of creating a very good random password. So what I recommend is make a sentence that has at least 8 words and use the first letter of each word and capitalize the words you want to emphasize. So it's a good idea to make sure at least 1 or 2 of these words are numbers and you have punctuation. So my sentence is, I have 4 giant horses that I feed at my home, and an exclamation point at the end. So what I did is take the first letter of each word, and the letter I is always capitalized here. So I have 4 giant. I made the G capital because it's a big word. Giant horses that I feed at my home, exclamation. So if I take all of those out and put them into a password, I have this really random password. However, and if you notice, the word 4 changed into the number 4. I have 4 giant horses that I feed at my home, exclamation point. It's much easier to remember that way. It's very secure, and you can actually learn to remember a very, very long random password this way. So always start with a long sentence. Make sure it has some numbers in it. Throw some punctuation in there, and just do the same method. And maybe you didn't want just giant, maybe horses you could capitalize because they're the subject. I have 4 giant horses that I feed at my home. So you could make IH4G capital H. Alright? So this isn't hard. I know it looks intimidating, but I'm sure once you try this, and sorry I forgot to underline the F there. Once you try this, I'm sure you'll find this is actually much, much easier than you would believe it is. So you just have to practice it a few times, and it comes out with very extremely good passwords. So changing a password, this varies depending on your computer system, especially your operating system. You will be required to enter your old password once, followed by a new one twice. So in Windows 7, if you press Control, Alt, and Delete at the same time, so Control and Alt are at the bottom of your keyboard, and then Delete is near the top right of your keyboard. If you press them all at the same time, a window will come up and you click Change a Password, and it will prompt you to do this step. Enter your old password once, followed by a new one twice. On Windows 8 or 8.1, it's actually a little more complicated. You want to go to the Charms bar, which is the right sidebar, remember. So we'd want to open the right sidebar, then select the Settings button. You then want to click Change PC Settings at the bottom. Click Accounts, then Sign In Options, and then under Password, click Change. And then you will be prompted to do this again. Enter your old password once, followed by a new one twice. You may want to write this down or try it on your computer a couple of times. Just make sure if you do actually change your password, you remember what your password is. And please don't use a dictionary word. So that's how you change a password. Now, don't forget to remember the password best practices. Never give out your password. The only exception would be if an IT person needs to fix your computer. And with that said, when they're done fixing it, be sure to change your password as soon as they're done to something that they don't know. Always use the password minimum requirements when creating one. And remember the do's and don'ts. Remember, passwords are a lot like underwear. You change them often. You don't share them with friends. Longer underwear is better. Be mysterious, and you don't leave them lying around. Alright, so just keep in mind, a hackable password is useless. Dictionary words can be hacked in less than a second. This is why we have minimum requirements to make them really hard for hackers. And hackers provide the computer that's helping them hack. So this is kind of a little tidbit of information here for you why passwords can get hacked so easily. Hackers provide the computer helping them hack with a file that has all dictionary words, most date combinations that are in existence, and thousands of common names, sport teams, movies, bands, etc. In all combinations with different capital letters and all that great stuff. So a computer can actually scan through a file with all of those in a matter of seconds. You have to remember a computer is a very fast machine, so it can take every word in our language and scan through them in no time. That's why very long random passwords are necessary. I hope this helped to clarify passwords some. I hope it helped open your eyes a little bit. But be sure to rewatch this video if you need to. Go back, take more notes if you need to. And I hope to see you again soon.